So this is the Hadley Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, regular meeting agenda, Tuesday, April 1st, 2025 at 11 a.m. And we're at the Golden Court Community Room in Hadley. This meeting is actually March's meeting. We had to change some meeting days around for absences and things, so this would be March's regular meeting. So the first item up is agenda adoption changes, topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance. Crystal, do you have anything?
No.
Rich?
No.
Sue?
Last time we had a meeting, you mentioned the fact that you had to know the topic ahead of time. That's something that you interjected that we never had before. And who decided that and when did that come about? Because we were always allowed to.
Do you have a topic that you could not have known about before 10:59 a.m. on
No, not today.
on
I'm just
Friday?
talking about in general.
Okay, so we can,
Can I just answer?
Yeah,
that real
please.
quickly? Just in general, because we have to post the meeting 48 hours in advance. So
Right.
that's why we need it ahead of time, because but open meeting law requires that you post the agenda item with
I understand that, but if
specificity.
you have an agenda item you keep giving to somebody and they don't put it in, then where are you supposed to let somebody know that once again, your agenda item didn't get in onto the paper, part of the
I
agenda?
think you would discuss that under commissioners' discussions,
yeah.
and the whole board would review it.
And Sue, frankly, there's been no agenda items you've given me that I didn't put in that were appropriate to be put in.
But that's
please,
not
if
your.
you-
discretion.
Okay, we're not going to do
It
that.
is my
We're going to move
role.
on because we've already started the meeting late, please.
Crystal.
No.
It-
If you guys
it-
are going to go back and forth
Crystal.
on the same subject, Reese, then we can save that, but it's already running late, and I'm quite sure that we should get into what we've come here for. If you've explained to Sue the information, there's no need to reiterate it or go back. Once is enough to let her know exactly. Even Pamela stated where it should be noted and for the timeline. So
Yeah.
going forward, there's no need to reiterate. Let's just.
Approval of the minutes, January 28th, 2025. Everyone will have a motion page, so would someone like to make a motion? Just read this off
The top one.
for January 28th.
I, Rich Whitkus, move to approve the January 28th, 2025 minute.
I second.
Second.
And Crystal seconds. Discussion. Rich?
No, nothing.
Crystal? Sue?
No.
Okay, I have, that I'm happy to sit with you, Pam. There's just a few things that are grammar or, two words sound the same kind of thing. So I can sit with you after. We don't have.
You have to approve them the way.
Oh,
Yeah, but I wouldn't worry about grammar, and I'm sorry, I know it's,
Okay, so, but it does have, so the difference between censured and censored. There might be some places where someone said censored, but in other places it's censured. So I say censured. I think I try to correct it, but I think sometimes it was said censored. Two completely different meanings, but might, impact the meaning of the minutes. And that was the biggest thing, but it's in several places, so I think it's page 12. Nope. But anyway, it's in there. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes as
I'll make the motion.
corrected?
I'll make the motion. We correct the proper.
Okay, censured, censored?
Yeah, censored,
yes.
whatever you're
Okay,
calling
and
it.
Crystal seconds, call for the vote.
Yes.
Rich, I'm a yes.
Crystal.
Is yes, Sue?
Yes.
And Sue's yes, 4-0.
Can I ask you a question? Where's the February minute? I see January.
They should be immediately after.
January, if you'll see on the bottom, the pages are numbered.
Yes.
So January ends at page 25. And then you'll see page 1, which is February 4th.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes of February 4th?
Is that a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a specific form to read it out in. Can you say that?
Say what?
He did, he made a motion.
Okay,
Made a
great.
motion to approve.
Okay. Call for discussion, Rich?
Nothing?
I have nothing. Crystal?
No.
Sue?
Nothing?
All right, call for the vote. Rich?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Crystal? Yes. And Sue?
Yes.
All right. Now we'll move on to the executive director report. Warrant reports require a vote. So can I get a motion to approve the warrant reports? It's on your board motions paper. Who would like to make a motion?
Are we going to go over this?
Yes, but first we're going to make a motion.
To approve it?
Yes.
No, and then you second, and then you have the discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the minutes. I mean,
No.
excuse me, to approve the warrant report.
Dated, we need it read out.
Dated February 28th, 2025.
Is that under finances?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to read,
I did that already, Risa, I did.
In the
February
amount.
2020, February 28th, 2025, February 28th, 2025.
well, it's February, okay.
What'd you say,
In the
Pamela?
amount
In the
of,
amount, okay.
you have to.
In the
say-
amount of $9,511.41.
Yes, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, call for discussion. Rich?
Nothing?
I have nothing. Crystal? Sue?
Here's what I'm looking for. There was something about a towing charge.
That's, yeah, that's a day.
And what was it for the red truck? Or what?
No.
No. So what happened is, and we're gonna be changing how we do the snow, is the tenants had moved into that back parking lot. And then we had those weird storms this year where we had snow, then rain, then froze, and people got stuck.
Yeah.
So the housing authority helped move the people out of because we had instructed people to go there. So we paid for that towing, and then we will not be having folks parking there going forward.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Just-
park in the
prevent that.
field, right?
No, we're not gonna park it. The field is where they got stuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're just gonna be moving cars around the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
But it was unfortunate.
Yeah, that,
Weird
there was a
storms.
lot, yeah, it was a
Weird.
lot that
Yes.
happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, didn't even give time for the snow to fully melt. And some places, in some yards, there was so much snow that when it melted, the yard was flooded.
Yeah.
That's how much snow we had,
Yeah.
just continuously.
And then it froze.
And then it froze, and you didn't have time to get it out, it was a lot. It was
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay, I need a motion for the March 13th. You want to read it off?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry, did you take the vote?
Ah,
Did you have
no,
your
not
discussion
yet.
and then take the
Oh,
vote?
my goodness. Okay, let's not get off track here.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Rich?
I'll make a motion to accept the warrant report for.
No, we already got the motion.
From.
You're calling for a vote.
I'm calling for a vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm a yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, okay. So now we need a motion for the second one.
All right, the warrant report, transaction between 3/13/2025 and 3/13/2025 in the amount of
And that, here we go. It's Mark, oh,
12,000.
okay, you're right.
$12,173.56.
Can I get a second?
I second.
All right, call for discussion, Rich?
Nothing?
I have nothing.
Oop, there goes my water.
Crystal, do you have any questions? Sue, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
All right, call for the vote.
Yes.
I'm a yes,
Yes.
Yes.
and Sue's yes. Okay, great. Now, the treasurer report is in your packet. You've all had an opportunity to read it. The board packets came out by email on Thursday. Does anyone have any questions?
I I would just like to understand it a little more so I can know what I'm looking at, you know, numbers and stuff. So maybe, I don't know when we can get a chance, but just some sort of explanation so I'm not just, motion. Sure. I just want to
Yeah.
understand what I'm reading.
Do you have any questions now that you
No,
want me to
no,
go over, or you
no.
just want to meet and wait?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just to meet so I
sure.
can have clarification. Thank you.
Yep, and we can always have, Gary DePace for the most part is in Florida, but he has an associate,
Okay.
Mike, that can come out and meet with us.
Oh, good.
And go over.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Okay, so the next item is a CFA 5001 Amendment 10. That's a votable item. Can I get a motion? The motion is already, you want to read it, or Rich can read it, or Sue can read it? Do you?
Is this what we're doing?
No, we're doing, as I said, the contract for financial assistance,
financial.
yeah. But here's the motion
I
to
have
be
my
read.
paper right here, Sue.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So it's
So I'm
towards,
not
the
gonna
one
do that.
that's towards the front, the paper you put in the front.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what she's.
This
so-
one here.
Yes, so we're on this.
That's the board
This is
motion.
where we are now.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Would anyone like to make the motion?
This chair squeaks.
Close.
Yes, no, it is.
Can you read all this, Rich, for us to move?
I'll try to.
Just say I move to
I
accept.
move to accept the Amendment 10 to the contract for financial assistance CFA 5001 in the amount of $416,448.15, included for a signature and Commonwealth of Massachusetts Standard Contract Form and Attachment A. Additional terms and conditions and CFA amendment. This amendment funds the following and extends the contract dates of service from June 30th, 2027 to June 30th, 2028.
Can I get a second?
A second.
Crystal seconds. Discussion, Rich, do you have anything? I have nothing. Crystal? Sue?
Nothing.
No? I'll call for the vote.
Yes?
I'm a
Yes.
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 Crystal's yes and Sue is yes. All right, so now I have it pulled up. I have to sign the DocuSign.
Yeah. Yeah. You just hit send the new one. You can do it afterwards, you don't have to do it. now.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask? How's it going with the ADA ramps? Is that okay? Remember last time that I was here, you were trying to see if that can go forward, but I think someone stopped it or something?
No, we were just getting the funding.
Oh,
and
the
it came
funding.
in.
It came in,
Yeah.
and that's what this is for?
Yeah.
Oh, great,
Yep.
great, okay.
Yeah, it does list each item that it's going to be funding, so it's additional money. So you have to vote to approve the additional money that they want to give
Okay.
us.
No, I
So
just
it's a
wanted
good-
to
yeah.
make sure, because I know that was something that they really needed.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it went through so they can have it, because it's really necessary here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is the unit vacancy report and the tenant's account receivable. Neither of these require votes. They've been in your board packets received on Thursday electronically. Does anyone have any questions? Hearing no questions, we can move over.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Berkway is being repaired, so we only have 2 vacancies now? Didn't we have more than that?
Not at Berkway.
Oh, it's always been 2?
It's always been the 2.
Okay, all
For
right.
too long.
Yeah, that's why,
For too
I thought the
long.
number was lessened, and that's why I had to ask, so yeah,
Yeah.
it really, but the work on the units are still ongoing.
It is, included in the packet, this, you'll see coming up is a memo from the Director of Facilities, and he's got a little brief update on what's
Good.
happening with them
Okay.
too. But one of them is starting.
Okay, good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any further questions?
No.
All right, so we're down to facilities with the work order report and the capital report. Does anyone have any questions? I don't hear any questions. The next is board correspondence, and that's the chair report on the Ethics Commission and the Select Board response regarding Sue Oppenheimer. So, let's see. I just wanted to give you an update. The Select Board has declined to temporarily recuse Sue. I'm not sure why. So I did bring a copy of the state law so that everyone can have a,
I
here
don't
goes
need
Sue.
that. I
You
know
don't?
the state law.
So that you can, do you want one? Here. And it's a bit of a mystery. It's lightly highlighted to make it easier to read. It's a bit of a mystery, but in one of the correspondences with the chair of the select board, after consulting with the town attorney, they are hesitating because there hasn't been a final ruling from the Ethics Commission. So that's just what the select board made a decision about. So that's where we are with that. The censure still occurs. It looks like the select board didn't realize that they could recuse someone temporarily. I'm not sure why. It's none of our business. It's a decision of the select board. But anyway, so that's where we are with that. I did, of course, receive a letter from the Ethics Commission, which I think I've already mentioned in the last meeting, but where they said that the matter was under investigation. And they won't contact me again until they have a finding. So that's my report on that. Let me make sure I got everything.
And I'd like to
Yeah.
interject. Yes.
This is the chair's report. Sue,
But I didn't ask it. I asked it as an agenda item. You made it into the chair report.
because you did not give me.
I
the-
told you at the last meeting that I wanted it on the agenda, not only for you to speak about the topic.
And, okay, so
You're controlling the topic again. First you admitted.
Sue, you
I
need
wanna
to
be able
stop.
tell her, John.
Sue,
But Sue,
you need to
what's
stop.
happening now is Risa is reading and giving the explanation.
she's-
Can I finish? And what you're doing
Does it
is,
every time.
no, what you're doing is you're combating and you're arguing. So we are just going through what's in this binder. Any questions that, you may have when it's the proper time, you can explain it. But right now, we're going through what we have to get
So
through in this
I
package.
will,
But let me
thank
just-
you, Crystal. I will remind.
Again, I'm shut down.
You're not shut down.
Yes, because I'm trying to interject. I'm
Sue,
the one that asked for it to
I
be on the
will-
agenda, but she's the only one
Sue, lower
speaking
your
about
voice,
it.
Please.
Sue,
I
I will ask for
understand.
your comment in a moment.
Right, let her.
So,
I don't mind, what a
the,
controller. All right.
a chair does need to control the
Yes.
decorum of the meeting. So, you were asked, you claim that the Ethics Commission has, that you talked to them, and you say they've sent you something, which they always do if you talk to them. They send you an acknowledgement letter of the content of the conversation and their advice to you. You were told that to speak on this, you would have to provide the board with a letter
No, you told me that.
from the
That's not
ethics,
the ethics board. That's not what they told me.
from
So
the,
do you have the letter?
They said they don't need a letter. That's
No,
what I'm
no.
trying to talk about. She said you need a letter, but I had numerous conversations that according to them, you don't need a letter.
Pamela, would you please explain this? I think you
I
explained
mean,
it
I've
much
talked to
better.
them 3 times.
Okay.
That's why I'm trying to
So going
interject.
forward then, what is the issue?
Let me just say one thing.
No,
What is
I
the
want
issue?
Again, I'm
Pamela
not
to,
allowed to talk about it. It's my issue, so I
Let
should
her
be able to
speak,
talk.
Risa.
No.
Let her say what it is so we can
Crystal,
move
let me
forward.
chair the board.
You are chairing.
Now, Pamela, would you please explain what happens when somebody asks for advice from the Ethics Commission?
So it is my understanding that when anyone calls the ethics board, you will get, if it pertains to you, you can't, or you filed a complaint, but I can't ask advice for what Richie might do or what Richie has to call on his own. But they will, if you call for advice, they will send you a letter saying, this is, briefly what we spoke about. It will be a confidential letter, they keep it confidential. The topic in generalities, and this is what we advised you to do.
And
So when, in the past, when I have called and there's been like a conflict of interest or a perceived conflict of interest, I have gotten a letter that says, we spoke about a perceived conflict of interest and we're advising you to fill out this form and this form. And that's it.
we've already gone over this, but I wanted to tell you
So
what
what
I,
I would let her agree.
please.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number one, I've asked to have this on the agenda twice. And today it came on, but you again put it under a topic, not the
What
regular
did you
agenda.
want to
Because
say?
you're taking control over it. I spoke to the ethics board 3 times, and they told me, and I have the name, and I was gonna give you, I offered the name and the telephone number who I talked to. They don't put anything in writing. They said that my board had no right to censure me, and especially the part about you threatening the board that if they didn't do it, that they would get in trouble and possibly have to pay a fine. And then they also talked about, and the fact that you used the housing authority attorney to give you advice. We're not allowed as tenants to run to the housing authority attorney. We get our own attorneys. And you mentioned in meetings that you talked to the housing authority attorney to give you advice. What are you doing taking advice as a board member from the housing authority? They're not supposed to be
Pamela, can you
colluding
address
with you
this?
against me.
So
Are you
the
done? Are you
housing
done?
authority attorney is not colluding with a tenant. She was giving advice to a board member and the board chair. The other thing is the ethics commission would never rule on what a board.
They didn't rule,
is
but they
doing.
told me I did nothing
They
right, and they
wouldn't-
gave, they
That's
said.
not their
"No."
oversight. Their oversight is not open meeting law, it's ethics violation.
Right.
So
But
it's not an ethics violation for the board to send to you. It may be the
It
wrong
is.
thing. No, it may be the wrong thing to do under open meeting law, and maybe the board of selectmen don't agree with it, but it has nothing to do with ethics. So ethics.
Well, the
wouldn't
ethics
be-
board themselves told me, the same man, I talked to 3, that it was wrong, that after I told him the whole situation, it was wrong for without them knowing more and actually studying what happened
It's not-
more,
they don't
to
rule
vote
on-
then there, and then for
They
her
don't.
to threaten, saying if you don't, you can get into a lot of trouble, and you can pay some fines. That's like ridiculous that you did that. And then you interjected the fact that you used an attorney for advice that you have no right to use.
The housing authority.
Because then
attorney-
management is helping with,
It's not, the lawyer is not management. The
No,
lawyer works
but-
for the housing authority, and you folks, the board runs the housing authority, so you can get advice from our attorney.
We've
You can get
tried
our
in the
advice
past where I've said I want to call
No, our-
the
our
attorney for advice, and you said, no, you can't because you're,
from- That's actually not true.
You
and
can't
our
do that.
Our attorney has come in the past and even did a training for the board, both John Lytle and Elizabeth O'Donnell.
Or John
So
Lytle.
it is, they are available for the board, all board members.
So how long have you been on the board?
2 years maybe?
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll look at this just to confirm, because you said Pamela said that we can't use the attorney, right?
Over the years, I've been told.
No, you just said.
Coming to me, yeah.
That
we
Pam-
were, the Pamela.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You said Pamela mentioned in the meeting.
Not
that
this
we-
meeting, a
No,
past
in
meeting.
a meeting.
Right.
That we are not allowed to go to the attorney, right?
Yes, for our own self,
Right.
only if it's having to do with, something to do with management. If
With
it's
the
a
board,
management,
right?
But not the board. We
board is
don't,
management.
they're not here, the attorneys for the housing authority aren't here for tenants or for board members, they're here for management and the runnings of the housing authority.
Right, and that's what we do, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
we were told that we were not allowed to
Okay.
access them without getting our own attorneys.
Okay.
No, that's.
So
That's
if that's what the issue is, can we move on now since you have spoken about it?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
So I want you, can you make a comment about why you told your fellow board members that they could get into a lot of trouble?
I'm not worried about what she said. Rich is not bringing up what she said. So if we're not worried, Sue, and we're not going to Reese and saying, why would you do this? Why would you threaten us? Then why would it bother you?
Because of the ethics board thought that was much more
Well, then the ethics-
horrible than
the
me
ethics board
failing
should
a
reach out
housing
to us.
inspection,
The ethics
right?
board should reach out to each individual member to find out our opinion. However, right now, we should move forward. We have a lot of information to discuss.
I
Do you
know
mind?
that. But all I'm saying, I just want to say one more thing. Just the fact today that you put that report under your name.
But you spoke about that.
No, but I mean,
too.
this is the kind of crap that I have to go deal with it every
Okay, well,
meeting.
how about when the meeting is over, if you have anything personal to discuss, it can. But right now, you've discussed that already, so it's.
Okay, it's over
actually-
with for today.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. The town clerk update, read the commissioners' OML and ethics trainings. Pull that out. I have a report from the, just a second. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is the report from the town clerk. So all she has is ethics and open meeting law training. So this is the, I already sent this to you, right? But do you want it?
No.
Okay.
What is
So
this?
it looks like,
This, down here, okay.
okay, this is just, so you can see what I asked her and you can see
Yeah,
what
at the
she
bottom is the
responded.
answer.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the bottom's
Okay.
the answer. So Sue, you are good on open meeting law and ethics through July 21st. Crystal's good through July 16th,
July 2027.
2027, yeah. And so everything is there. That does not include the EOHLC board member training.
And it says you're good until July 19, 2027 as well.
Yeah. So this does not, she doesn't have access to the EOHLC board member training. And do you have any update on that?
Just that everyone's still having problems with it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I took it without any trouble. I mean,
I know, but it's 3 boards. 3 boards worth of people that are having.
okay, okay.
You know what I was thinking, Pamela? Maybe it's the program they're using, because I'm noticing that the Windows 10, there's an update, and if you have Windows 10 and using it, it's not going to work. So maybe you can suggest that, to try different Windows.
Different browser.
Yeah,
that you-
not browser, but instead of Windows 10, to do an update to Windows 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got Windows 11 and I didn't have trouble.
Mine
I
either.
bet that's it.
Yeah.
And maybe they could be a little more specific on here and what the name of the program was, like when it was called Trackstar. I mean, then we know that we don't have Trackstar anymore, and now we have the new name of
No, we do have Trackstar. Trackstar is what we have. We don't have UMass Online anymore.
But it's still through UMass. I think the other
Yeah.
issue that people are having is that the email is being blocked. It'll go to your spam or your junk mail, or if you have a virus type thing, that's
It
one
can
of the
stop
issues
it
we're
from
having
going
too.
through, okay.
Yeah, so,
Well, if you need any assistance, Sue, I can try to come over and help you, or you could use my computer.
Maybe even here we could come, now that we have Wi-Fi in this room.
Okay. then
Yeah.
we
Thank
can
you,
meet
that's
up here,
very kind.
And this way I can help you get through it.
Okay, so we're down to Commissioners' discussion, signatures on the Code of Conduct policy. I put this on, then I reviewed my last copy of the Code of Conduct juxtaposed with the minutes, and I'm seeing some problems. So somehow or other, remember when we sat in here and did all that? Not all the changes were saved, some were. So
None of them were saved. I just checked.
so I
my
have to
phone.
go back to the minutes and input the changes. So we should not, we all signed the signature sheet, but I think we need to throw it out. And I need to go back and make the changes, and then we'll bring it back and look through it again and make sure it's correct this time.
But why would we have to throw it out if Rich and I signed off on what the changes were? It's just that you, whatever's here.
Well, what do you think?
Whatever's here is not what we stated.
Right.
Yeah. So why should we have to sign again, since we did sign the amendment of the policy?
right, if you just get the
Yeah,
find
just-
the amended policy.
Right.
Okay.
And put it
So
in
do we
there.
need a vote for that? Because it is
No,
in the
I-
minutes, all the
I believe
changes
you-
are.
You all worked on it in open meeting, and then you voted on it, and you all signed it.
Right.
So I think it's a done deal.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
It doesn't even need to come on the agenda.
Okay,
Just
so I
give us
just
the
need to
correct
do all the
copies
corrections
so
and then
that-
I'll
Send
sit
it to
with
me.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
and to the housing authority, we'll get it in the policy binder and.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All righty. The board seat terms and vacancies update. So, Crystal, were you able to pull
Yes.
papers and get signatures?
Yes.
You're turning them in?
Yes.
Yay!
How many are there now, signatures you need now?
I think there were like 36, I'm not sure. I had over 30, or I had 30.
Did you go to the senior center? Where you've been making all those delicious meals?
No, you
Or-
know,
or the-
I went door to door or certain
People you
people.
knew, yeah.
So I went to certain people, but I didn't think of the senior center. Oh well, I got my signatures though.
Yeah.
Yay-hoo!
I went to the dump, and I also went to Whole Foods.
Well, you know, they have to be a resident and they have to be
Yes.
voted, registered to
That's a
vote.
good idea.
It was a
The
good
dump
idea.
is,
Where's the
yeah.
dump?
On a Saturday,
Okay,
No
so
idea.
Crystal has to go, so
No, I don't
let's
have to
move
go. I
on.
was just saying, let's just get all the information going instead of combating with each other. That's what I was saying.
Please.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is appointment to Community Preservation Committee. That is a vote and pending change to town bylaws for housing alternate appointment. Community Preservation Committee is very work-heavy and knowledge-heavy. It takes a long time to learn how. Community Preservation Committee would appreciate if the Board of Housing reappointed me for another, I've had a 2-year term, but reappoint me for, because I was filling somebody's end of term or something, but for another 3-year term. However, Community Preservation has gone to Select Board and said, we would like to have alternates appointed from the boards and committees that are required by law to send a representative. So I'm the representative from Housing to Community Preservation. But what they want is an alternate. Now, we can't do it yet, but I'm just telling you to be thinking of it for when it goes to town meeting, either in May or October, depending on the size of the agenda for town meeting, because they're going to probably, the select board was very positive about having alternates and changing their bylaws. So it requires a town bylaw change. That's why I'm saying I don't know if it's gonna occur at the May town meeting or if it's gonna be in, October, whenever. So, I would like a motion to nominate me for reappointment to Community Preservation.
I will, yes.
Thank you,
I'll second.
thank you. So, any discussion?
So this is something ongoing for you. You've already done it and this is ongoing, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. No discussion.
Okay. Sue, do you have any discussion?
are you going to let us know as a board what happens once in a while at these meetings?
I do,
You do?
I do,
Oh.
yeah.
Did you do it last year? I don't remember that. This is new
I
to
mean,
me.
especially in relation to like open space and housing and not necessarily
Well,
what's
I would
happening.
only bring back about housing, so,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So that, yeah, this is a completely separate board, and it is under that open, or the.
Community preservation, yeah.
Yeah, CP, that somebody from the board is on there, and they are open meetings every week. You meet once or twice a week.
No, we meet
A month.
only 2 to 3 times in the late winter, early spring, and 2 to 3 times in the kind of late summer, early fall.
And then they'll have meetings, so the housing
Yeah.
authority actually has requested a grant for our door project here too.
We used to have meetings here before the new senior center,
Well,
before the
Well,
CPA.
before COVID.
They
before
used to always
COVID.
meet here.
Right.
Community
So
preservation.
they meet
Right.
100% virtually.
Oh, really?
So you can
it's-
watch them. They're on Hadley Media.
Oh.
Yeah, So that.
So it's
that
just
was-
all remote?
Yeah.
Yes, and we're able to continue that remote stuff.
Yeah.
Governor Healy
2027.
said. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so we consider applications and what to recommend to the town and what not to recommend to the town. And we work with applicants to make sure they're meeting all the criteria that we know the select board and finance committee and the townspeople are going to ask about. And I'm telling you, it is a lot of information to have to absorb. Yeah. So, but what I want you to think about is, well, Rich will be off the board, so I'm looking at you, is to be, consider being the alternate.
Well, I have no choice, I will do it.
You do have a choice, but I'm glad you said yes.
If you can't be there,
See, that's the thing.
then I will have to be there for
We
you.
oftentimes are worried about a quorum, even though we have 9 people. Sometimes we don't, so we have to have a quorum of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't have 5, we have to.
Push it off.
Yeah. And some of this stuff is so time sensitive, so. Okay,
Did you get your vote for that? Or-
now we're going to the vote. Thank
Okay.
you. Okay, so I'll call for, unless somebody has anything else to say?
Nothing?
Okay.
Call for the vote. Rich?
Yes.
I'm a yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you so much. The next is consideration of subcommittee to develop board performance evaluation tool. We don't need to discuss this at all unless you want to, but I have something that I was given either last September or last spring. Here's the packet.
What is the evaluation?
Well, most boards and committees, it's really good practice from what the course I took. It's really good practice to evaluate yourselves or ourselves.
We don't do this on any of my boards, and I'm on 6 or 7 boards, I'm not doing that.
No, we have
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
to do.
Anyhow,
too
this
much.
is
Yeah,
really
this is-
a
yeah.
good, we were and some housing authority boards do this. It's certainly not 100%. It's not a legal requirement, but I think this is good information. So, I didn't put this down as a vote because I would like people to just read through the material before you say no, out of hand, and see if you think that it would help us in our communication and working together. And that's all I had to say about that, unless somebody else has something else they want to say. All right, and now, does anyone have items for future agenda?
Yes. New people on the policy committee, because you two have worked together, you've been on it.
I'll be
and
off
Rich is
anyways.
off it.
Yeah.
And now that you're redoing the community preservation,
Uh-huh.
and
So-
you are the chairman, I
So
think,
you would like this to be for our next meeting, which is
to
April?
appoint new people for the policy committee.
Okay, so that is, as we said before, that would be at our next meeting. Can somebody, let's see, check dates, make sure, is April 29th a Tuesday? Because that's what we have scheduled.
I have a question.
Can we just
Sure,
get through
sure,
this?
No worries, sorry.
Thanks.
Sorry.
April 29th is Tuesday.
Okay, great. So our next meeting is April 29th, and so we're going to discuss policy subcommittee. Yep.
I know Crystal had a question, but if it,
No,
when
go right
is when is the town meeting for elections?
May
don't-
1st.
May 1st.
Well,
So-
town meeting is different than the
No,
elections,
it's
which
the
are,
election.
yeah.
When is the election?
I think it's
End of May.
I have my paperwork.
It's like May
down.
23rd or something. John, do you know?
I don't.
Just, what I would suggest is that when you have either a new member come on at the election, or if, hoping Crystal's reelected, that when that very first meeting, that you vote on all of it, both the policy subcommittee, chair, treasurer, all of
Right.
that.
That
All at
sounds
one
good.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Crystal's gonna be running for the position, wouldn't it be better to take the position of the governor appointed? That's something that can happen just like that without her having to stand out there with signs and
For
get.
Crystal to do that?
Yeah, why couldn't she be the governor appointed
Crystal gets to run
position?
for whatever she
Yeah,
wants to
I
run
didn't want to
for.
do that.
No, I mean, it's the same job, but except
No,
you're.
I'm fine.
Oh, then you don't have as much work to get on the,
It doesn't matter. This is what I chose to do.
Oh,
But they would,
Okay.
they would come on at that time, and then if you
Yeah.
vote.
I thought it'd be
and-
easier, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the
so.
idea to do everything at once.
So, the town meeting is a few days, I think it's the 23rd if I'm remembering right, can't 100%. I mean, not the town meeting, the town election. So, I think it's
I
May
have the
20.
dates at home. I can email it if you like.
Well, all I
the
have to do
dates.
is look on the town
Okay.
website, but I
Yeah.
think it's May 23rd-ish. It'd be on a Thursday
So it's gonna be
evening.
May.
Right, John? Thursday evening?
I'm not sure.
The
what
ta-
it is.
okay.
He's
The
out of
town
practice.
elections are on a,
I don't want to give out bad dope.
I know, right? Oh, no, it's the town meeting on a whatever. Anyway, we'll look it up. But the point is that we have the meeting after that, so now we're down to future meetings, is June 24th. So that's when we will put the policy subcommittee. June 24th would be our next meeting, okay? So that's calendared in now.
In officers.
And officers.
So the officers will be at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah. And then everybody's on the same schedule.
Yeah. Does that sound
Okay,
good?
so May
Makes- it makes-
1st is the annual town meeting, select board and finance, May 1st.
Is the annual town meeting, yeah.
Right, that's what you asked. I was
Thursday
just
evening,
confirming
no,
the
I
date.
was asking about the town election, which I
Town
think is
election?
May 23rd, yeah.
Now, are
Okay.
those meetings at the senior center or at the school, high school?
I think the town meeting's at the high school, but the election would be at the senior center if they're doing what they've been doing, I think. Do you
There've been
know?
I don't
elections at
see
at
anything.
the senior center.
Yeah, and the town meeting's at the high school. Well, it has been, I just assume it
One time
still
we was
is.
at the fire station,
Oh, yeah?
because they had so many.
Yeah.
Do we as a board ever go over bylaws or nothing to do with the board at all? We don't ever
But
see
you
them?
mean
or- The bylaws of the housing authority?
They're in your binder, in the board binder?
No, but do we
She's
ever
saying, do we
review them
ever-
and spend time
Yeah, that's
with
part of the
them?
policy subcommittee, or we could start a separate bylaw committee. God knows they need to be reviewed.
That's a good one.
Because I think 69 was the last time they were.
Let's put
That's what we
bylaws
can
down
definitely go
too.
forward. Thank you for that.
Bylaws, Sue?
Yeah,
We'll
which
do,
is-
let's review those bylaws, okay?
All right.
Can you
Is that
think
on the
anything
next
else?
agenda? Is that for the next agenda or what?
Well, let's wait till we have our new
No, I'm asking,
person.
so, oh, this is
Hopefully
for
a
the
new person.
We're not gonna do it before then?
Well, that's what,
You could set a plan, so if you want to put it on the next agenda.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I have extra copies of the bylaws
Okay.
in your binder.
okay.
Thank
And
you.
then you can.
Then we can
review
start looking
Yeah,
at
we
it.
can start it. Okay, thank you.
But we'll need a subcommittee to do that, or we'll have to do it during this meeting, which is gonna drag it out by,
it. You could chunk it out.
Yeah.
chunk it out, yeah.
Little
Lay
by
out a
little.
plan.
Lay out a plan. Okay, so I have bylaws down for May 20th, and June 24th, we'll work on that policy subcommittee. And does anyone have any other items that they would like, future agenda items?
So the policy for the committee, that's not on the next agenda, right? That's going to be with everyone that you were stating,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And what
June
date was that?
24th.
June 24th,
And then bylaws, May 20th?
May 20th,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that's it for the agenda, because we already are calendared out for meetings through June 24th. So next meeting after we get, we'll have to come up with another meeting next meeting, because we'll need to schedule for July. So now we're to public comments. John, you already know about the rules and stuff for public comments. Do you have any comment?
I don't.
Okay. So, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All right, we are adjourned.
We have to take our stuff out of the book.
Thank you, Nick.
And